my friends, and hearty welcome to the new series. 7 minutes, 7 days. And this week we want to look a little bit closer on Christmas and the end time, the second coming of Christ. And what does I mean with Christmas? Yes, I doesn't mean what the most people celebrate. I mean the moment when Christ came to this world as a child in Bethlehem. And you know, we count down the days to Christmas in the Advent time, but the real Christians are waiting for the second coming of Christ. That's what we are waiting for. And it's good that we explain the truth of the coming of Christ as a baby to our children and to the people in our nations. But we must be very careful that we don't take the focus from the gospel and the real message of God. The first part we want to look a little bit closer on one very interesting point, because the fact that the Messiah should come in Bethlehem was prophesied, and Jesus was born in Bethlehem, but nobody was waiting for him. Look, when we look into the Bible, Matthew chapter 2 verse 3, when Herod the king heard this, he was troubled, and all Jerusalem with him. And when he had gathered all the chief priests and scribes of the people together, he inquired of them where the Christ was to be born. The wise men came to Herod and told him that they know that a new king was born. That's why he was troubled. And he asked the wise men. So they said to him, in Bethlehem of Judea, for thus it is written by the prophet, but you, Bethlehem, in the land of Judah, are not the least among the rulers of Judah. For out of you shall come a ruler who will shepherd my people Israel. And when we go to the original prophecy in Micah 5, and this was given 500 years before Jesus Christ came as a child to Bethlehem. In chapter 5, Micah verse 2, but you, Bethlehem Ephratah, though you are little among the thousands of Judah, yet out of you shall come forth me the one to be ruler of Israel, whose goings forth are from of old, from everlasting. Already the last words show us clearly that the Messiah is not only a normal human, he's coming from everlasting, from eternity. So the Messiah was prophesied, but nobody was waiting for him. And when we are looking to the second coming of Christ, many people are in danger to make the same mistake, because it's clearly prophesied that Christ will come again. And we have the signs which are going in fulfillment in front of our eyes, but when we don't know the prophecies, we don't see it. Matthew 24, Jesus just told the people that the temple will be destroyed. And this happened in the year of 70. Jesus was prophesying details. And we know from history it happened exactly as Jesus said. And then the disciples asked him in verse 3, tell us, when will these things be? And what will be the sign of your coming and of the end of the age? So the question is clear. Jesus, what is the sign or the signs for your second coming and the end of the age? So we are not talking about some small happenings in world history. We are talking about the last happenings in world history. The final. And we are in the final countdown, because we see the signs are in fulfillment. The first sign was that the temple will be destroyed. And it started there. And then Jesus was giving many different examples here. He said, many wrong Christs will come. We know that there are today more than 1,000 people claiming that they are Christ. They deceive many, exactly as Jesus has prophesied. Jesus tells here about many wrong prophets. Look what happened in the election of Trump and Biden. Many wrong prophesies. I was on so many charismatic meetings with wrong prophesies. Jesus tells about tsunami, he tells about diseases, about wars, about different things which are happening. And the wonderful point is, he says all these are the beginning of sorrows. And these are special sorrows. He's talking about the contraction of a woman who shall bear a child. And they are coming with shorter interval, and they become harder and harder. And that's exactly what is happening in front of our eyes. So we see that the signs are going in fulfillment. Jesus says even here in verse 12, and because lawlessness will abound, the love of many will grow cold. This is a sign of the end time, lawlessness. And we have today a Christianity who denies that the law of God is important. All the signs are going in fulfillment, and the question is, what are you waiting for? Are you waiting for Christmas, for some new gifts, a little bit romantic? Or are you waiting for Jesus Christ? Everybody is in big danger to go lost for eternity when we are not standing on the ground of the Bible, waiting the second coming of Jesus in holiness and purity, because Jesus has saved us. Heartily welcome to the next part of my series.